Let's also talk about there was a vote yesterday morning in the Senate Judiciary Committee to pass a bill that would reform the federal government's drug sentencing laws. Those were, passed during the Reagan era of just say no and lock up as many people, particularly minorities, as you can.
Right.
This bill, it's called the Smarter Sentencing Act. It was introduced by Durbin and Mike Lee. I
Another
mean,
one
this
where
is this is
the
where
black helicopter crowd is joining us.
yes. Well, this is where the sort of the libertarian sort of so-called wing of the Republican Party is helpful. It would basically reform the mandatory minimum statuses, which handcuff not just people but also judges
Well,
in
it sort of
terms of
takes away the whole purpose of actually having a judge, right? I
yes,
mean, those laws were always ridiculous for that reason, and I think it gives judges more discretion, and it actually allows people that were convicted under these old sort of disparities between crack and cocaine to get back in front of judges. And,
yep,
I think there's a motivation here. I mean, if you look left and right and center and all around you, Rand Paul is doing everything he can to reach out to African Americans, which I find interesting,
right.
considering stuff he's been for in the past and some of the people he hangs around with and his dad hangs around with. But okay, I don't care what his reasons are. It's the right thing. And when you combine that with that sentencing reform, we've had it here in Ohio that was led actually by our governor, Kasich, who's bad on most things. When you start seeing Republicans do that, and you start seeing Rick Perry call for decriminalizing pot, and you start seeing the sort of movements towards, obviously in a few states, pot being legalized and whatever. I mean, it seems like it feels like we're moving as fast on this now as we are in gay marriage. That
Yep.
we're really past a tipping point on the ridiculous war on drugs, which I didn't think I'd see perhaps during my lifetime. So I got to consider that very, very good news.
And this is good stuff to push in an election year when you've got people like Ted Cruz and Rand Paul trying to become that guy in the Republican Party, leading up to 2016. This is good stuff to be pushing at this point because they're all trying to. Hopefully we'll get some progress on that.